Welcome to another interview for Millionairess magazine and the Millionairess movement. I'm Amanda Jane Clarkson, editor-in-chief, and today I'm delighted to be joined by social media expert Brenda Ster.
But if you want to call me Brenda Ster, I would be okay with that too. I'm pretty easy.
Today I'm delighted to be joined by social media expert Brenda Ster.
I'll take it. I'll allow it.
I love it. Brenda has built and managed several 6- and 7-figure businesses online using authentic and value-orientated marketing techniques. She founded Sassy Suite in 2015, focusing on the direct sales industry, determined to teach direct sales consultants and social media sellers a better approach to social marketing. She has launched the suite with just a few people and a blog. She now wants to help other people do the same, guiding them through the process of building their online presence, growing a following, creating engagement, generating leads, and making sales. She geeks out talking about systems and tools and workflow processes. Weird, she knows. Welcome, Brenda.
I totally do.
Welcome to the Millionairess magazine.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, you know, we've got so many incredible followers now that love hearing about other women like yourself, inspiring stories, downloading your wisdom and experience. So let's get into it. So tell us your story, Brenda, of how your journey to where you are today actually began.
So well, first of all, thank you, Amanda, for inviting me, because I absolutely love anything I can do to help inspire anyone who's on the same journey. I want to share how I did it, because it wasn't always easy, but it's always been rewarding. I think anyone would agree that if you're on a journey, you're learning as you go, and hopefully you're sharing your story with others who may be on the same path. So I was actually corporate for 20 plus years. Obviously I started when I was 5, clearly. So
clearly.
Obviously I started when I was 5 years old. No, I was corporate for many, many years. I had a very traditional path. I followed college with graduate school. I got my MBA. I started in corporate America, and I worked my way up the ladder. And in my early 40s, I'm 49 now, but in my early 40s, I had 2 young kids, 3 and 1 at the time. Now they're 11 and 9. And I was traveling 50% of the time for my job. I was stressed out. I was, gone half the time, young family, and I was just stressed out. And I kind of thought, this is what your 40s are supposed to be. This is sort of what it is, right? So I ended up joining a direct sales company simply because it wasn't my day job. It was shiny and bright. No one would yell at me about jewelry. And my day job was stressful. I worked in banking technology, and Bank of America does not call you when things are going well. They call you when their multi-million deposit file doesn't hit that day.
Okay.
So it was not good. So my day job was really stressful. So I ended up joining a direct sales company just because it wasn't my day job. And I had no intention of making any money. I had no intention of doing anything with it really, other than the fact that it was cheaper to buy the kit than it was to pay retail for what I wanted. So I was not somebody who joined to start a business, nothing like that at all. So because I was traveling so much for my day job, I was wearing and sharing this jewelry I happen to be wearing now. And people were talking about it, and I was showing them, and I was sort of attracting them to the idea of, well, we should do this together. We should do this. And I started having a lot of success very, very quickly, to the point where within the first year of joining, I was the #1 sponsor in the company, all because I was doing it while I was traveling. And then I started doing it online, and I made a very intentional decision early, still to this day, years later, this still is sort of my guiding why, my why reason of why I do my business, is because I want to be home when my kids are at home. So I didn't have any intention of doing evening parties and events and all these things that I would be gone even more than I already was. So I made the decision early to do my business online. But I also pre-direct selling had this sort of stigma of direct sales as spammy. It's MLM-y, and it's sort of spammy. You spam all your friends, and it's predatory, and it's pyramid scheming, and it's kind of gross. I was sort of one of those people. I had that mindset.
Right.
And years later, my philosophy now is that the reason it has such a bad reputation is because people simply do it badly. They do it badly. They don't have a lot of marketing knowledge. They don't have a lot of systems knowledge. They're being trained to sell They're not being trained to market, and there's a big difference. So when I started building my online strategy myself, my goal was to do it all online, but do it in a way that created community and social and fun. So I was the #1 sponsor in my company the first year. The second year, I was the #1 sponsor again, and of the top 5 in the company, 4 of them were on my team. And then people started saying, because I had taught my team to replicate what I was doing. And people then started saying, what are you doing that we're not doing? What are you doing differently? And I said, I went to the company and I said, can I train people? Can I travel? And can they pay me to do that? And they're like, no, you can't profit on the field. And I said, well, then I'm going to leave and do it on my own. So I left. And this was 5.5 years ago. That company is now a client of mine and they pay me. They should have kept me on. I offered it for free, but they don't pay me. And so 5.5 years ago, I started my coaching business, having zero intention of ever doing anything like this. I was a corporate girl the whole 2 decades worth of my life. So my whole premise, my whole philosophy was, I had this hypothesis that a lot of direct sales groups, specifically on Facebook, are what I call spray and pray groups. Spray your link out and pray someone clicks on it. And that's how a whole lot of direct sellers tend to operate. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to do it differently. If the only thing you're not allowed to do in any of my groups is self-promote, you cannot post your links here, period. You have to do something else then. What do you have to do? You have to offer value, create relationships, have conversations, make friends, answer questions, cheer for other people, share ideas. You had to come at it from a relationship-based angle if you wanted to be in my space. I do not allow people to self-promote, even to this day, 7 years later. So the way that we approach marketing is really understanding the difference between marketing and selling. Marketing is all about creating a whole lot of attraction and value, conversations, ideas, helping share tips for solving problems, anything that's going to inspire, anything that's going to showcase success stories. That's all great marketing. It's helping people see that they need this product or this service in their life because it will help the outcome will actually help their lifestyle in some way, whatever that outcome looks like. So it's not this, but people tend to sell the product. They don't tend to market the outcome. So when I really started focusing on in the direct sales space, it was a lot of mindset shift. The majority of direct sellers are part-timers. They make less than $500 a month in their businesses, and they don't have a lot of time to commit to, overhauling their personal development philosophy. So we really had to make it bite-sized and small and easy to embrace this idea of eliminating spray and pray marketing and taking a longer view and a longer approach to building relationships, know, like, and trust, and focusing on community. Because, authentic marketing, authentic online marketing done well is not fast. It's not, I contact you, this is my biggest pet peeve, and is, the hey girl messages. I haven't talked to you in 20 years. You're calling me to do what? I don't know you. I don't remember you. But warm me back up. Let's reconnect on a social level. Let's reconnect on a relationship level. Remind me that I actually like you and have something in common with you, that we have a common foundation of value or values or family or history or something before you try to spam me with your link, your opportunity, your group, your page. All of that is what contributes to this kind of cycle of MLM having a spammy reputation. So I've made it my single personal mission to change direct selling from the inside out. So within the first, within about a year and a half of starting my coaching business which was sort of formed on a hypothesis of, I think we can do direct sales better. And I didn't really know anybody else who was doing what I was doing. So I just kind of wung it. Is that a word? I kind of winged it.
I winged it.
I winged it. So I winged it and I started a Facebook group, which within a year and a half exploded to 100,000 people. And then it was kind of like, okay, well now they're asking for, how do I do Facebook parties better? How do I do Instagram better? How can I personally, Brenda, fill in the gaps that the companies themselves aren't teaching? So then we started building the strategy of, okay, we could do introductory training on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Facebook parties, building a basic funnel strategy. The majority of direct sellers do not have personal blogs or websites. They have a company-provided website. So how do we work around that and help them still stand out online with great value? So over the course of time then, we've built video-based courses, private one-on-one coaching. We have a membership-based coaching group with about 1,700 people in it. We have a online marketing microblogging platform that is highly Google optimized. We've got about 1,000 people using that platform. So all of those things combined are what we've been able to put together and really help build a very authentic marketing strategy that a direct seller can quickly and easily embrace without having a whole lot of overhead, a whole lot of, I have to like learn inside out marketing from the ground up when I only make $500 a month. They don't have that kind of time or investment. So we've really approached how do we help people be successful in a compact, tight way quickly. That's really that's what my team does. That's what we do. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
A lot to take in there, but there's a couple of things that I want to circle back on. When you talked about people want to ram their product down your throat, their product, their service, and they're not thinking about the value that it would bring to somebody's life. We call that soulful serving instead of sales. There's a stigma around sales. Wouldn't you agree? People feel weird about it, asking for the money, asking for their value or their worth. And so we like to call it soulfully serving, where you tap into the values of other people and get to know, like, and trust them, but at a different, underlying level of, well, how is your product or service going to impact their lives? How is it going to add value to their lives, change their lives for the things that are important? So I love that you touched on that. What do you believe from your experience that the problem with women, I'm talking about women because we are a Millionairess magazine, becoming a Millionairess from the inside out, because I believe every woman is a Millionairess in her own superpowers or what's important for her. Why do you think so many women feel yucky or embarrassed or weird about sales or taking their products and services to the market, asking for the money?
I think the big shift, and I talk about this in the context of both selling and sponsoring when I coach, and it's really separating the price from the value.
Yeah.
The price is a discrete dollar amount. You're asking people to spend $59, $100, $150, $500. You're asking people to spend a discrete dollar amount. But the value of the outcome or the transformation is priceless. So we really have to crystallize the value. And as soon as we know that the value is bigger than the ask, it's really, really easy to help share, because we're not selling the price or the product, we're selling the transformation that you achieve because of it. And then in our social content, in our social marketing, what you're posting on Facebook, Instagram, going out in your email marketing, wherever you're creating content, what you're putting out in your content then is how those values, those priceless values, resonate in your own life. How you are showcasing that you're walking the talk of doing the things you believe in. So I'll use an example. I'll use a couple of different examples. In direct selling, there's people who sell food or cooking related products. And there's a lot of them. There's people who sell children's books or children's related products. So food or cooking, people could say, okay, well, you can buy Tupperware bowls, or you could buy Pampered Chef, or you could buy food products. I'm not selling the food product. I'm selling time with my family. I'm selling the value of coming together over a family meal. I'm sharing the value of convenience and meal prep. I'm sharing this value, this high value in someone's life that solves a pain point that she might have. I have 2 children, one of which eats everything and one of which eats nothing. She is an incredibly picky eater. If someone came and said, hey, Brenda, I have a solution to help Leah sneak more vegetables into her diet because she's a picky eater. I'm not trying to get her to eat more vegetables as much as I'm trying to get her to eat healthier and get more in her, because she's underweight. She's 11. She's prepubescent and she's underweight because she eats brown food. She's all about chicken nuggets and French fries. So if someone came and said, Brenda, here's the problem I know you have. Let me help you figure out how we can get Leah eating better, how we can get her gaining weight without it compromising that you're trying to shove carrots into her mouth. So, we have to approach the value of what our products create, the transformation we provide in somebody, because that's the outcome they're seeking. When we really understand pain points, whether it's a head pain point or a heart pain point, head pain points are those things that I'm willing to admit out loud. I'm really tired. I'm really overstressed at work. My kids are really busy, and my daughter's a picky eater. So you continue the picky eater example. My daughter's a picky eater because she really is. The head pain point, I'll admit out loud all day long. The heart pain point, I'm really worried about her health. I'm worried I'm a bad mom. I'm worried that, what are people going to think if I can't get her to eat? Or is she going to have a puberty problem because she's underweight by like 20%? So, head problems and heart problems, we can then speak to in our marketing because we're really trying to appeal to the outcome someone's trying to achieve. So I have a very specific 3-point formula that I use. Are you this person? Do you have this problem? I have a solution I can help. Are you somebody who's struggling with a picky eater? Are you worried that maybe that she's underweight and you're trying to figure out how to solve that in your daily life and make her healthy? Yes, I am. You want your ideal client to be nodding their head going, yes, that's me. Are you struggling with this problem? Yes, I am. Let me help. I have a free lead magnet. I have a checklist. I have a free sample. I have a demo. I have something I can provide because the value truly is priceless to help somebody solve that problem. So we really have to separate the price of the product, the price of the join, the discrete dollar value from the value of the solution we're really helping create. Because the value to that person is priceless. If I could get my daughter eating, if I could get my son off of electronics and Minecraft because I want him reading more or I want him outside doing more, I will look for those solutions because I'm trying to break that pain point. So I think that's a
really golden. That is so golden what you just shared. Then I hope our ladies are taking copious amounts of notes. You've explained it in a way that is simplistic to understand because people get so hung up on it and not really understanding what they're actually selling. They're selling the feeling. Right. Go with it.
You're selling the feeling, the emotion, and the outcome of the transformation.
Yeah.
So the distinction, I use an example in my own marketing. One of the things I teach is how to use Instagram to source leads and business. So my marketing copy, look at the very distinct difference. I will teach you how to use Instagrams for hashtags or Instagram hashtags for your business. Option number 1. I will teach you how to use Instagram hashtags to source leads for your business. Which one are people listening to? The outcome. I want the leads for my business. This is method. This is outcome. I sell the product or I sell the solution. So we really have to think about is the copy that we're writing selling the method? Like, do you need some new clothes? No. Do you want to look fashionable at work? Do you want a new improved wardrobe when you're working from home under coronavirus? Do you want the latest trends on a budget because you want to be fashionable? Absolutely. Do you need new pants? Probably not. There's a difference, right? We have to talk about product versus outcome, price versus value. We're always talking about selling the outcome. And as soon as you crystallize who your ideal client is, exactly what pain points she has, it is very, very easy to keep on talking to exactly her. So I know exactly who my ideal client is. She's a direct seller. I've already mentioned it several times. She's a direct seller. She's probably part-time and makes less than $500 in her business. She does not have a lot of time for personal development, and she wants easy marketing tips that will help her make sales. Well, to help her make sales, I need to help her market better. So I can speak to, are you a direct seller who works part-time, but you want to make some sales? I get them nodding yes. Fantastic. I'm going to teach you how to do a fast Facebook party. Okay, let's get to it. So you get really specific on who your ideal client is, and it's very easy to write copy that will help her solve the problem that she self-identifies with.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure women are just loving what you're sharing, getting straight to the point. Now, I want you to talk about attraction-orientated things. So you talk about your marketing mindset and doing the right attraction-orientated things. So what do you mean by that specifically for anyone listening that's not a multi-level marketer or direct salesperson? Is it for everybody?
Oh, it's for everybody. In fact, it is for everyone times 100. It's sort of the idea that you want
to... ladies?
Everyone, all the single ladies. No, maybe not. No one wants to see me sing and dance today. So the idea of attraction marketing is sort of this. if you sort of think about really, really broadly, two forms of marketing, okay? There's push marketing and there's pull marketing, right? Push marketing is you are pushing your products out to people. This is cold marketing. It's door-to-door sales. It's cold messaging. I'm pushing things into, it's ads. It's cold marketing. I'm pushing things towards you to hopefully get you to see it. And there's a whole strategy and an entire industry built around cold marketing, and there's a reliable percentage of return that comes from it. Attraction marketing is getting people to come towards you. And the idea is that you're offering something shiny and of value that they want to pay attention to. So it applies to everybody. Now, in the new era that we're in right now, with this whole coronavirus, world, global pandemic, everything happening right now, everybody is online. Everybody is online. And community, I truly believe, community is the currency of the new virtual economy. So that means attraction marketing, I can leverage information, entertainment, tips, fun, community that people are seeking as a way to build community. It builds a very specific social funnel. If 100 people come into my Facebook group, some of them are going to connect with me. They're going to build some know, like, and trust, and then may convert into a sale later. But I have to think about the community aspects first. People come online for a really few very fundamental reasons, and none of them are ads. None of them are commercials. People come online for relationships, entertainment, and information. That's it. Relationships, we check in with our friends and family. We check into our hobby groups, our business communities. We come in for relationships. We come for entertainment, which is why we watch videos and we stream content and we love memes and we like smiling, right? And we share funny things, why things go viral. They're always rooted in entertainment. And then the last is for information. Every single one of us at one point or another has asked our friends, what are y'all reading right now? What are y'all streaming right now? Does anyone know somebody who sells this thing? We ask our friends because we have a personal need. So the more we can grow our friends and we can appeal, not just our friends, but our community, and appeal to those reasons people come online, they're more likely to say, I like her, I want to learn more, she's interesting, she's funny, she's entertaining, her community is supportive. That alone is attractive because people are seeking those things. So if we can appeal to those things in our content, in our marketing content, no matter what you sell, services, products, coaching, digitals, anything you might be selling is part of that attraction space. We have to appeal to what your ideal client is seeking when she comes online. She's not coming online to watch a wall of commercials, which is why spammy marketing tends to burn out quickly. We don't go on TV to watch commercials. We don't come online to watch commercials. We come for the show. So as marketers, our job is to create the show. We have to create, what's the show, the entertainment, the interest, the fun, the educational, the informational, the community that someone wants to be a part of, because it's actually value centered for them, the user. So I think attraction applies to everybody, no matter what you sell. Everyone should be doing it.
That's golden.
It's sort of it's the Gary Vaynerchuk idea of give, jab, jab, jab before you right hook. It's give before you ask.
Yes.
It's create value, create before you take. It's the exact same idea, no matter who says it or how you package it. It's the same basic concept of create a whole lot of value, conversation, personality, engagement, entertainment, help before you ask for the business. That's attraction, because we're leading with something that the person wants before we are asking for what benefits us.
So for the lady out there who's got a business and she's got a product, and we'll say jewelry because that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
There are so many social platforms now. I know Vaynerchuk talks about being everywhere or omnipresent, everywhere at once.
Yeah, he kind of is too.
as does Cardone. However, I have a saying that I'd rather be present than trying to be everywhere, omnipresent.
Yes.
That's
definitely true.
You're an elite marketer here. What would you say to the everyday woman who's thinking, holy crap, there's so much to do, so many to get on. I don't even know them all. How many hours are you talking about a week do we need to engage as entrepreneurial women with our people? Infotainment is the new thing here. That's what you're talking about. How many hours a week?
So I think I want to mention something that you very specifically said. I'm a big believer that you should be exceptional in fewer places versus mediocre in many. Okay. So rather than try to be everywhere and do everywhere really mediocre, you should try to be really, really good in the place where your ideal client is hanging out. Okay. So for example, for me, that is very Facebook centric. I am Facebook centric. I have a secondary on Instagram, and then sort of email marketing is my backup. But I'm not really on Twitter. I find Twitter overwhelming. I personally don't like Twitter. I know some people love Twitter. It's not my place. So I don't even bother. I was like, why? I'd rather not even spend time there when I can spend time nurturing where my core community is. So I really think you need to decide where your biggest value return on investment platform will be. And then the second part of your question was, how do we manage our time? This is where I just did a masterclass. It's so funny you asked this, because I literally just finished a masterclass on this over the weekend. It's going to publish in about a month. And it's literally how to manage your time to make more money. Literally the title of it. Perfect timing. And I talk extensively about understanding the value of your time, knowing your $10 tasks, your $100 tasks, and your $1,000 tasks. What can you outsource? What can you purchase that's repeat? Don't build a new wheel if somebody already built a wheel for you. Use someone else's wheel. And then also batching and scheduling. I'm a huge, huge, huge advocate of batching and scheduling. We are incredibly, incredibly busy women. Whether it's you have full-time jobs, full-time businesses, or full-time families, we have to be efficient with the time we have. So when you batch, rather than sitting down and doing one Instagram post today, you're making 10 and you're scheduling them out for the whole week. And you, rather than spend 15 minutes a day, you're spending 1 hour and you're maximizing that time, and then you're done for the week. All you have to do is engage throughout the week. So I'm really a passionate believer in the more part-time you are in your business, the more efficient you need to be with your time. Because those of us who might be full-time, I have all day. I can do it tonight. I've got 14 hours tomorrow. I'll get it done eventually. The old adage that if you need something done, give it to a busy person rings true, right? If you need something done, give it to a busy person, because she's not going to waste her time and, screw around. She's going to get it done. So you have to be efficient with batching, scheduling, managing your $10, $100, and $1,000 tasks. So you are really truly maximizing your highest value of return. There are certain things that my team does because it's not worth my time when my time can be better spent where my face or my voice has to be on video. No one else could be doing this time with you, right? It has to be me. Whereas right now, my team is doing inbox customer service. They're doing graphics creation that might get posted on social media. They might be doing video editing. There's certain things behind the scenes that as you scale, especially when you move into 6- and 7-figure tier levels of business, you have to hire help. And I will tell you, one of the biggest, hardest challenges for everyone moving into that level of scale is giving up things that you used to do yourself. Giving things up, because how many type A women are sitting here going, well, if it's going to get done, it's going to get done by me because only I know how to do it right.
Well, we have that conversation daily.
You have to give up those things. You have to be able to create capacity so you can create more value at the highest tier in your business of where you want your growth to be. So whether that's strategy, growth, relationship building, networking, interviews, all these kinds of things are things that only top tier value can provide. So, and that's the hardest transition where a lot of people struggle going from that, say, 5-figure to 6-figure leap, 6-figure to 7-figure leap, is hiring support staff to help bridge the gap for time management. Because there's certain things that you shouldn't be doing with your time. My team will yell at me. We have a joke internally. It's called get Brenda out of the sausage. I don't want to know how the sausage is made. My team makes the sausage. I just want to know that it tastes good so I can talk about it when it's done. I wrote the recipe, they make it, and I talk about it. But I don't get involved in the middle because they will yell at me and I will probably mess it up.
I want to talk about that for a sec, Brenda. As an entrepreneur myself, 14 different businesses, I completely resonate with you. Probably a similar personality as you as well. And I say to women, because I mentor so many women, there's 2 things you need to be focusing on: marketing and sales. Now, I don't know if you just mentioned that because you're talking pretty quickly here, so I'm going to back
No, I talk fast. I'm so sorry.
No, so do I usually. I love it. I love it. I'm keeping up with you. Don't worry. There's a lot of women who want to get into business. So we talk about starting or scaling a $1 million business. 2 things I say the most important ingredients is marketing and sales. So what would you say to any woman? What do you believe the most 2 important things that any leader or the person that's front of business should be thinking about? What would you call those 2 things?
Continuous relationship building and networking, right? Number one. And then nurturing your community, number two. Because those top funnel activities are growing the top of your funnel, they're growing your email list, they're building new connections, they're getting you into new communities, and they're nurturing those communities toward your promotional outcomes. There's certain things that only you can do. They have to be your face, your voice, your words. So figure out what those things are and figure out how you can outsource, delegate, or hire out things that can be administratively managed. Those are the big things that you really have to be doing. So, and I do them a lot. I do. I love nurturing. I hang out in my Facebook communities. I go live. Going live is $1,000 task. Nobody else can do it but me, right? Nobody else can do it but you. It has to be your face. So the highest value you can offer is where you should be spending, ideally as you scale, the proportion of your time should be spent on higher value activities. And those are going to be the things that only you can be doing. Strategy, branding, networking, building new relationships, building core content that serves your community, anything that's truly high value return. That's where I would say are those top key things for sort of exponentially getting toward growth.
Well, developing that mindset too. So what we talk about here in Millionairess is going from a dollar heiress mind to a millionairess mind or multi-millionairess. Millionairess for some women out there.
Yep.
To go.
I'm not at a billionairess yet. I'm
Pardon?
not at a billion yet. I'm not at a billion yet, but I'm aspirational.
I'll
take the multi, but I'm not. But yeah, so I'm glad I'm saying all the same things. I'm just not. I'm saying all the right things that fit the philosophy of growth. I didn't necessarily use the millionairess, but that's exactly what it is. It's changing your mindset from these dollar tasks to these 100 to these 1,000 to these $1 million value tasks, and separating price and discrete dollars from true priceless opportunity. That's where we see our growth. And the more you can give, the more it's going to come back to you. It just is. That's pure law of attraction. The more you put out there, the more you're going to pull back. The abundance philosophy of there's enough for everybody, and it's not like pie, right? The more you can offer, the more you can give, the more it's going to come back to you. And I talk about that a lot because in my specific client base, there's very much of a scarcity mindset because everyone sells the same product and they compete in the same space with the same type of product. So there's a whole lot of, well, if I give up my ideas, you're going to use it to compete against me. And I'm sitting here going, if I give up my ideas, then we both do better. Let's talk about that and what the long view of that looks like.
Yeah. Expand the pie. I say there's infinite opportunity, infinite wealth. The bigger we think, the bigger we expand, the more we grow.
Exactly.
That's why we're having this conversation, because I see women coming together on a global stage to elevate each other's self-worth, net worth, and life worth. I don't see anything as competition. We're all different. We've all got a different message. We're all unique. But going from a dollar heiress mindset, exactly what you're talking about, to a multi-millionairess mindset takes a little bit of work, takes a bit of shift.
It does.
So how important do you believe mentors are along the journey of going from a dollar heiress to a multi-millionairess?
Yes.
And what do you say the value is about having a mentor who's walking the talk?
Yes. So whether it is a mentor, a business coach, a program that you're investing in, I will say with pure, complete honesty, I have invested in 3 major personal development programs in my life, and every single one of them had a substantial increase in revenue and return because it changed how I approached that aspect of my business. That's what helped me, level up, so to speak. Yep. That's what helped me go from the first, low 6 figures to high 6 figures, from high 6 figures to where we broke our first $1 million in revenue in a year. Those were all very incremental steps where I was investing in a mentor, a coaching program, high dollar tickets. My husband saying, how much do you want to spend on this? And I was like, I mean, truly, I feel like I need to do this. In fact, totally random, but let me show you. This is sort of funny. My very, very first breakthrough came at a event I went to by myself, knowing nobody in 2015, literally a month after I started this Facebook group. And I said to my husband, I want to go to Dallas. There's this conference I want to attend. And he said, okay, go for it. Knowing nobody, knowing nothing about anything, having not really even a business plan yet. And that was the breakthrough. This was the notebook from that event. I share it because I'm very much of a pink Sharpie or a colored Sharpie person. But I filled it in that single event. And that event I had the breakthrough of what my first success level would be. And then from that event, I went into a different coaching program. I went to a different coaching program. And I just finished another one that was specifically focused on memberships. And we had our first 6-figure membership launch. So, I mean, it's every time you're investing in personal development, you're taking a leap of faith that the return is going to be worth the investment. However, you have to show up and do the work, right?
Yeah.
You have to show up and do the work of what that mentor, guide, coach, partner is helping you to do. And every single time I've committed to doing those things and I've committed to showing up and doing the work, it has exponentially been a high value return for me every single time. And I've done at least 3 or 4 of those.
Couldn't agree with you more, Brenda. I remember, my very first event was back in 2003 when I flew all the way to Nashville, Tennessee to attend a massive marketing event. It was more than 1,000 people in the room. We got there on a credit card because I call it good credit, bad credit. Good credit is investing in yourself because you are the business. Bad credit, you don't need the TV and all the crud that goes with it. But we got there on a credit card, and it's a long way from Australia to Nashville, Tennessee. And I remember watching this speaker on stage, and I really wanted to get close to that mentor to learn more and grow more, because to grow more and to have more, we've got to know more. We needed to spend $3,500 US. Now, this is back in 2003 when you're broke. It's a lot of money. But we realized that to go from that dollar heiress thinking to being, to multimillionaire, or whatever you want to get to, you've got to invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge. Since those days, we've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I don't say that lightly. It started with a book. And I'm not suggesting for anyone to get into debt, but I would say it's your most intelligent, smartest investment is investing into books and mentors, because who's got the years to waste? I mean, I don't know how young and gorgeous, I know you're young and gorgeous, darling, but you would agree.
I'm 49 and gorgeous. So,
You are, darling. 49 and gorgeous. Well, I'm in my 50s, darling, so I know how it feels to on the other side of the fence. None of us have these years to waste anymore.
No, not at all. And when you're investing in coaching, mentoring, business development programs, you're not only getting the knowledge for yourself, but you're getting access to that networking community, which is immensely powerful. And that's part of where our networking goes. And you're investing in your outcome. You're investing in the future. And now there's a lot of fear there, right? There's fear of spending money on things. And you really have to think about, what is the value of separating the dollar from the value of the outcome? It's no different in your own, what we talk about in your own sales. How do I help someone? How do I sell this product and I help sell the transformation of the outcome? You need to think about your own transformation. And when I invest in this $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 program, or this coach, or this mentor in some way, I'm gonna hold myself accountable to getting the transformation that triples or 5, 7, 10, 50 X's my investment. That's the transformation of the outcome. That's what we have to be thinking about in our own personal development, as well as how we sell our own products. And as soon as we do that, the world literally opens up to you. It is infinite. There are, I tell my team all the time, I have a team of 7 and about 10 virtual assistants, moderators online. And I tell them all the time, there are millions and millions of direct sellers in the US alone that are our ideal client. If you guys think that we have even hit the tip of the iceberg of what our potential is yet, we are undervaluing all of the impact we can make and serve people. How can we serve? It's not how can I sell more, it's how many people can I help be successful in their own way, that I can help them with their mindset, that I can help them feel empowered, that I can help them make their first couple $100s and pay their car payment. How can I help more people? That's truly the impact that I want to be known for, that I want to make, that I want my team to make. And every single piece of content that we create is designed to help someone achieve that outcome. I want to help someone be successful, however they define it. So my price point is not the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. My price point is like, $20, $25 a month. But on scale, a lot of people at $25 a month adds up quickly. But my ideal client, I know where her price point is. I know where her mindset is, because I know what she's making and I know what her goals are. So if I can work at that point and speak to her outcomes, I know very clearly how I can serve her, how I can help her, and how I can help her bust through mindset to achieve an outcome that she wants. Because when she makes that first sale, when she gets that first lead off of Google, when she did something and got a compliment from a customer and said, wow, I love hanging out in your community, it's not spammy at all, that is incredibly validating, and it validates why she's doing it the right way.
That's really beautiful, because what you just explained there, Brenda, was soulful serving. And that's the whole context of what I love to talk about. You're not selling anything. If you serve people, it's just a fair exchange of value. Money is just
exactly
just a little bit of anything.
Right.
Could be carrots for all I care. It's just that if you give more value than the money they've paid out, it is just a value of service. And just that's how I see it.
Exactly right.
I love how you just shared that. The value of a mastermind. I love masterminds. What are your take on them for the value? Do you believe that they're highly valuable to help an entrepreneur become even more successful sooner?
Yes, by far. Because what a mastermind is doing, and I'm a part of two different ones. One is more tactical and one is more strategic visionary. But they're both with people who are at or slightly above the level I'm at. Because you want to be able to leverage your choices are build the wheel yourself, figure out how to find the tools and carve your wheel all by yourself alone in your garage, or buddy up with a whole bunch of other people who already have really, really great wheels and see how you can share knowledge, right? So you're paying for access. You're buying your way into the good rooms. You're buying your way into knowledge, relationships, connections, introductions, referrals, as well as knowledge, support, accountability, cheerleading. We just have a group thread where we simply say, hey, I'm doing this amazing thing. Give me a little love today because I'm a little bit nervous. And they're like, oh my God, you're going to be so great, right? Mastermindy stuff. But some of it's tactical and some of it's very intentional and organized strategy on here's what we're doing this month. Here's what I'm working on. Does anyone have any ideas that will help make this better? And then collective, synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That is pure mastermind work.
This is just fantastic knowledge and wisdom that you're sharing today. I'm just loving it. And any entrepreneurial women watching this, listening to this, following this is going to take pure gold from this, especially because it's so tactical, so grounded, yet so profound and valuable because you're rolling it all into one. And
I know I tend to be a little heady. I tend to get myself all wound up. I love this topic, as you can tell.
I can tell, and I'm with you, sister. I'm with you the whole way. I could talk about it till the cows come home. I'm not a social media expert, but I'm very, very much into personal empowerment and business, because I don't think that success comes without self-development. And a lot of people...
it cannot. It just can't.
Well, you see this a lot, that a lot of people go, just give me the tactics, just tell me how to do the Facebook and the Twitter and the this and the that. And they're going, no, the gold's within. The gold, you've got to mine the gold first, and then that will come simpler.
And the other part of that is, because I get people a lot say, well, just tell me what to post. Yeah. And I just tell me what to post, it will make a sale. Well, I could tell you what to post, but then you can't recreate it. You don't understand why it worked. You don't understand what to do if it doesn't work. You don't know the nuance of the psychology that sort of underpins it. Because marketing is just social psychology. It's very predictable what people will do, especially groups of people online. It is very predictable. So as soon as you know those things and sort of the strategy of why something's going to work in a marketing plan, I teach the strategy and then I also teach the tactics. I can tell you what to post, but I'm going to make you sit through why you post it. And I'm going to make you learn that, because I want you to be able to, my true goal. And I use it on as my hashtag all over social media is hashtag empower social. I want to empower people to know it, to do it themselves. So truly, you don't have to hire it out if you don't want to. You could run your own business and be your own marketing department. You shouldn't have to hire something out, because I want to empower you to figure out how to do it yourself, and then truly get rid of me. You don't need me anymore. That's the biggest success. Success for me is that when you're completely knowledgeable and be able to be self-sufficient, truly. Now that sounds like I'm talking myself out of a job, but then I go right over to abundance and say, okay, hey, look at those millions of people over there who I haven't talked to yet, who I haven't served yet, who still need me.
Exactly. I feel the same way. Success is when they, you know, shining the torch or being the lighthouse for others who want to reach their goals and dreams, and then seeing them just go straight on and living their life. That is the true, I call that, you know, spiritual payoff. It's not about the finance. It's just not about the money. People think that being a millionairess is all about just money. I said, you know,
it's not even remotely about money.
No, it's who you are. It's what comes out of you. And that's just a component of it, you know, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. The payoff is so big when you get into that different frame of mind to thinking like a multimillionairess or a decamillionairess or a billionairess. You know, we've got to get a billionairess on the cover of this magazine. Can you move? I love it. Move it, Brenda. We've got a space for you.
I know. I'm trying. I'm working on it. I want to speak to money mindset for just 1 second, because this was something that really I had to bust through on my own about 2.5, 3 years ago. I had a real hang up about making money, and especially when my ideal client is a low dollar price point and doesn't make a lot herself because her goals are smaller. I had a real mindset block of my own about making a 6 and 7 figure income. And it was through one of my coaches and mentors that I busted through this. Really very like, Brenda, get out of your own way on this point. Let me talk about this. Money is not in and of itself the end all be all, right? Money is creating opportunity for you to reinvest in your community and serve more people. So the more money you make, the more opportunity you have to serve. And that was the huge money breakthrough for me, so that I'm no longer embarrassed about making money. I'm proud of making money because it allows me to serve more people. It's not, I'm not saying it allows me to buy a bigger house or buy a better car. That's not the point. It allows me to turn around and create more value for people I can serve. I can hire more people. I can become a job creator. I can serve more people and help their businesses in some way. So it really was a huge shift in my own money mindset of breaking the what money does for me personally versus what money creates as an opportunity to serve others. And it's sort of in that same soulful serving space, in that same abundance space. But since we're, you know, at the Millionairess level, and I know there's a lot of money, people tend to have money angst. That may be something you talk about regularly. But there's some money stress that fits in there. And that was how I personally got through it. It was a very direct conversation where my coach at that time said, Brenda, here's your issue. This is what I'm seeing. Here's what you need to do about it. And I went, oh, you're right. That's exactly what it is. It was sort of like someone holding the mirror up to me going, let me take a look at yourself. This is where you're stuck. And he said, this is where you're stuck. I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, let me work on that. Now I see it.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's not an easy thing to share. We all have this money blueprint from our childhood, depending on where we grew up, who influenced us, what school we went to, what religion we're involved with, our pet, so many things. And I remember, you know, we've all gone through it, but I look at it as a way of exactly like you just shared, Brenda, is the more money we can soulfully create, the more money we can use to soulfully serve and grow globally. You know, this takes money. Creating a magazine globally takes money. Creating a business where you mentor thousands of people takes money, energy, space, you know, bringing in more teams. And, you know, we're creating a global stage here, and I feel very, very good and comfortable about it. And I love talking about it, and I love helping women break through that glass ceiling of thinking money's bad or money's evil or it's scarce. Because you won't have any in your own purse. We have this.
It's a scarcity issue. It's a scarcity. It's a fear of having it and a fear of losing it.
Exactly. And I say to women, go to the bank and get the amount of money that you would love to earn in 1 hour one day or 1 week, whatever that amount is for you. Get the money out of the bank, pop it into your purse, clean all the rubbish out, all the bits of paper and the receipts that don't mean anything anymore.
That's my purse. Yeah, that's right.
Every time you open your purse, you don't have to spend it, but you feel abundant. You might have $1,000 in there, or $200, or even, $500, something that you would love. That's the thing that you would love to grow towards, because what you focus on, you attract. We talk about the universal laws here, but that money, having that money neatly put in your purse, really has an impact on the way you feel about yourself. Because as an entrepreneur yourself and a mentor, would you say that how you feel about yourself has a significant impact on the abundance that you will bring into your life and what you
completely. Absolutely. It starts with how I engage with it. It starts with it starts with my own self-care, how much I want to invest in myself. It translates into my family, my 2 kids and my husband and my 3 dogs, and how I treat them in my home. And then how I treat my staff and how I treat my community. If you feel of abundance, if you feel of high value, if you feel of high vibration, and you wake up with a positive energy and intention, it's gonna kind of ooze out everywhere you engage. People are gonna feel it, right? So it's just part of that continuous. It's not easy waking up trying to have good intention every day. It's just not. I don't want anyone to be like, oh my gosh, this sounds like it's not. It takes work, right? It takes work. And you also have to there's a level of self-awareness that I think is also important to have, because you have to be able to recognize quickly when you're falling into your own ditch. And I know where my ditch points are. I know where my trigger points are. I know there's certain topics or certain people that they're going to tend to flip me over the edge of going, oh my God, I can't even deal with her. Right? We all have people, places, situations, certain triggers that tend to push us into negative headspace. And you have to be able to be self-aware enough to recognize what those are. Yeah. And because then when you do, you know what your coping mechanism is to pull yourself back out of the ditch, whether it's comparison trap oriented, whether it's certain situations, individuals, or scenarios that happen in your business and on a regular, semi-regular basis. Those are all things we have to be self-aware of, because that's what helps keep us centered toward what your outcome intentions are, what your goals are. Because if you're not continually working toward your goals of serving, of offering value, of being present, of showing up, you're going to fall off the rails. Yeah. You're going to derail you're not going to derail only your own goals, but the biggest thing that's your missed opportunity is the loss of the impact of the people you have to serve. Yeah. They miss out on hearing what you have to say.
I think what you just said there sums it up beautifully. Take the focus off self, put it onto others. And I look into people's eyes and I ask myself, how can I solve a problem for this person? How can I impact their life in a positive way? How can I save years off them making the mistakes I have? And when I got through that headspace, Brenda, and got over myself and how I would feel and put the impetus onto them, that's when the shift changed for me. And I took myself away from the equation. I thought, wow, you can really change a person's life here. And I think that if women just took that away from what we've talked about today and shared, it's just been an incredible conversation. I want to say thank you, but I want to ask one more question here if you've got a moment.
I sure do.
You have touched on it, but I want to ask it one more time. If I was to ask you what specifically, after all said and done, what is it that you would really love to be known and remembered for?
Wow. What do I want to be known and remembered for? I want to be known and remembered as someone who made an impact and helped others achieve success. Sort of the business answer, right? But I also want to be known as someone who's bubbly and sparkly and pink, and I'm 49 on the outside and 14 on the inside, and I love pink glitter.
I love it.
So there's certain elements that are sort of like, the emotional association. I want to be known as really having made an impact and served well, but I also want to be known as someone who served while having fun and enjoying the process. The joy is in the journey. And, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, you go girl. Cause you go girl. You go girl. Because I'm a firm believer. Like I said, I'm 49 on the outside and 14 on the inside, and I'm going to wear whatever I want to wear that looks cute, right? I dress like my daughter. She probably hates it. Don't care. But it's I just don't.
I love your energy. You're a gorgeous woman.
So, I just want to be known as someone who showed up and tried to make a difference, tried to make an impact.
And I can see that's just happening in spades, Brenda. You really do shine brightly from the inside out. And it's just been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you today. I know it won't be our last conversation. And you've just shared so much wisdom and so much gold for any woman out there who wants to elevate her own self-worth, net worth, and life worth. You've given so many tips and ideas and strategies and really thought-provoking shares from the heart. And I want to sincerely thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Fabulous. And and I want to say thank you especially for being part of the Millionairess magazine and the movement, because you will inspire and impact women for possibly generations to come. And so
that is my goal. That's my goal. More women doing better. Good for everybody. Rising tides lift all boats. Come on, ladies, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, high fives to you. High tens to you.
High tens for everybody.
Thank you for your time, Brenda. I hope
Absolutely. Thank you.
Enjoyed your moment here, and we'll be in touch. And again, thank you for your contribution.
Very welcome. Have a great afternoon, or have a great Thursday. I'm going into dinner shortly. You guys have a great Thursday in Australia.
Yeah, you have a lovely afternoon.
Okay.
Lovely to meet you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Again. Bye for now.